Co-op. Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op.
Hello, Couch Co-opers, Couch Potatoes, and Couch Codependents. This is the Couch Co-op Show. I'm Ian. I have Jarrod on the couch with me tonight.
Oh,
How you doing, Jarrod?
I'm doing hot.
Hot. I'm also warm. I'm not hot, but I'm warm.
Toasty garage. Hot day, hot garage.
Yeah, we're having a heat wave here in the Pacific Northwest, and 95, 99, 98 tomorrow, 100 on Tuesday supposedly. Aye.
Back to work, working out in the heat. That'll be fun.
Dude, I'm on vacation, but I actually have to go into work on Tuesday. I have to do the board meeting, so hopefully it's a shorty, you know. But
in an air-conditioned building.
yeah, it's not that bad, right? I'm
that's all right.
It's probably fine, you know. It just means I can't drink. Like I start drinking around 4. It means I can't drink until after the board meeting's over, you know.
Oh darn!
Oh darn!
I'm sure you'll be okay.
Before we get too started, before we get to your, just to throw a little, acknowledgement out to the Lord Beerstro and his beer battles. What beer are you drinking tonight to keep yourself cool?
Oh, I'm drinking New Belgium's Voodoo Ranger Juice Force IPA.
Yes, that's the one with the jet helmet on, right?
Yeah, and
Yes.
I started watching Top Gun Maverick today.
Oh,
so
have you not seen it yet?
No.
Oh, it's so good. I'm excited.
No, it's on Amazon Prime, but
Yes.
we didn't get to finish. We had to pick up the kids.
Oh, so good. Because Nick and I didn't get to finish it. We didn't get to it last night because we did a beer episode last night. But then I was just too hot and tired, and I didn't want to. So I'm going to drink the 3-way right now.
Okay.
And I'll go buy another one. But so I'm having this year's summer Fort George 3-way. With
I love Fort George.
I don't know who the other brewers are in this one. But yeah, it's usually like a 3-way collab. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna drink that, and as I pour this, Jarrod, what happened in this day in gaming?
Well, there's a few games that I marked on the list here. One that I played back in the arcades was released on today, July 7th of 93. Samurai Showdown.
Oh boy, yes.
Yeah, the first one. I love that series. I
SNK.
I don't buy them on consoles, but every time I see them in an arcade, I have to jump on them. I love the characters. The art style was really awesome, so it's one that's always attracted me.
Cool.
Final Fantasy IX came out in 2000. Today.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, 24 years ago. That was always regarded as one of my favorite Final Fantasies, but I haven't played it since 2000.
But you're getting there. You're going to get there at some point, right?
I'm going to get there. I'm working on Final Fantasy V right now. 6 is going to be downloaded probably this week. 7, it just has Part 3 to release now. So I got some stuff going on. I'm going through the series.
Just to talk about that for a second, how has that journey been for you?
Oh, it's been great. Yeah. Going through them and seeing the origins of certain characters, even certain systems that the series carries forward, and ideas like chocobos. I feel that this one might have breeding. I don't know because there's a forest with a female chocobo in it, but I can't ride it because it's a female.
Right.
I don't know what's going on there.
Has it been mostly positive, or is there anything that has worn on you this does not work in this day and age? I get this old games, but is there anything that's been this did not age well, or has it been mostly positive?
So far, my least favorite thing is it's still kind of a staple in some of the games, but it's been refined drastically. But specifically, the one I'm working on now is Final Fantasy V has a job system like
Right.
Final Fantasy 14 does. They had a job system in Final Fantasy 2, but it didn't seem as obnoxious as it is here because you can uh, start a job, and each one, of course, you can master. And there's certain skills you unlock with each job that you can use with other jobs in your other skill slot. So
Right.
you can kind of create your own combination. Um, but I've found like the blue mage. I've never found a good use for the blue mage, and there's other classes that I just can't stand,
Right.
and it's hard to level them up because it just isn't fun being so underpowered and almost useless unless you have other skills attached to that job class.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of an obnoxious system that I don't know. I'm about ready to give up on trying to upgrade a whole bunch of them. Just stick with a couple of different ones for my whole team.
Right. Cool. But everything else is
Yeah,
still
but
magical. Music and
oh yeah, yeah. The soundtracks of all these games are really great. Sometimes I'll play like the newer ones with the classic music, so I can get a feel of how the music was when the game came out.
mm-hmm.
But I'm multiplying all the experience and gold or gil earned in all these games because I'm not looking for the challenge because I can tell they're really going for that grind session.
Right.
Some of these bosses, even over leveled, challenge me because you have to go in prepared and you don't know what the boss is throwing at you. I'll die a couple times and then figure out a method of how to defeat the boss and things like that. Just like any turn-based RPG, you just got to know what you're doing and make a good plan of attack. And sometimes it's all about luck because you never know what spell they're going to start with
Right.
or if they're even going to cast a certain spell that will just decimate your team.
One
It's
other
a lot of it's luck.
one other question I have is these games because they're so old and probably like cartoony. You probably play these in front of your daughters.
Oh yeah.
Do they show any interest in them, or they just don't care?
My oldest one reads along with me sometimes. My youngest one will watch me play for a bit. She'll come in to me in the mornings. She'll watch me play for like 15 minutes or something. Then I want to play Minecraft with you. So I have
Right.
to branch off and do that. Luckily these games
But no one wants.
in the
They don't
Pixel
want to play them. They
remaster,
don't want to play them.
um, maybe when they're older. Like right now, it's not
But how old
not
were
an
you when
interest.
you played them?
Final Fantasy 1 I played back in the 80s,
So,
so I wasn't very old. I never beat it or anything like that. But I enjoyed playing that and Dragon Quest
mm,
back in the 80s and
mm,
on the NES.
mm,
So I have a history with the genre, but I really didn't get huge in the genre until my teenage years with the Super Nintendo and Final
right.
Fantasy 2, 3, and a whole bunch of other RPGs that I can't even remember the names of. But lots of them began with Final Fantasy
Right.
2, 3, Mystic Quest,
Gotcha.
Sacred Mana, Chrono Trigger, a lot of that Square soft stuff
Right.
from back in the day.
All right. Well, thank you for divulging me in this little like a kind of offshoot. Yeah, you can
Yeah, yeah. I've
carry
been a
on.
huge fan of the series for a long time, and Final Fantasy IV. When I put it in the beat list, I even posted like, "Man, I still love this game. This game's so great."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what else we
But
got?
I'll continue this week in gaming. Yeah, I recently beat Katamari Damacy.
Oh,
Uh, but in 2005, We Love Katamari came out
okay.
on the PS2.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that one came out. And I found an interesting tidbit of a court case that was very important.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let's see. In 1992, federal district court judge Fern Smith awards Louis Galoob Toys 15 million US dollars against Nintendo regarding what?
I guess Katamari Damacy,
The
right?
Game Genie
Oh,
video
the
game
Game Genie.
enhancer,
Oh my God.
which I might have some trivia for that later on.
I have it here somewhere.
More than might.
I mean, I have the book for sure, which is
Yeah.
by Galoob.
Yeah.
But I have the Game Genie actually somewhere. It's just down there. I
Cool.
don't know where.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I used to have one. Yeah. Yeah. I saw you had a note in there with that code for
bunch of
what game?
notes. Bunch
What
of
game?
notes. I don't know what this is for.
Oh,
Oh, you know
you
what this
didn't.
is probably for? Actually, I actually know what this is for. This is for low G man.
Oh,
Yeah, that's for low
that's
G man.
awesome.
Because I remember that. Anyway, there's a lot of good memories with the Game Genie.
Yeah,
This is I get that it's kind of a shitty thing, but it's adds massive replay to your games. So
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't think Nintendo should have ever. Anyway,
I
whatever.
agree because I mean you can't rewrite the code of the game on the cartridge.
I like how it
It's
calls
always
it
going to be the same.
video game enhancer, not
Yeah,
video game cheater or video game. It's enhancer, and
yeah.
it's
It's not like
true.
Nintendo released anything similar to help you with the games. It's just like, no, this game's just hard as nails. Sorry.
Oh, it's right here.
Have fun.
It's right here. This is where it is. Look at this
Yeah.
thing.
Oh,
Look at
there's the
this.
Game Genie. Yeah.
Yeah, baby. It's in good
Yeah.
condition, dude.
Yeah, it is.
I
That's
haven't
shiny.
used this in a fucking, but
I don't
yeah.
remember that being so shiny. It must
Oh,
have because I
always.
swear I had a black one.
Oh, I had an OG one.
Yeah.
OG.
Okay. Yeah, that's shiny. Gold? Is that gold?
Yes.
Okay.
Gold, baby. Gold
Yeah.
plated.
All that glitters is gold.
Anyway, yeah.
But that's all I have for this week in gaming.
Oh, all right. Awesome. Um, well, we're not doing a beer, and we talked about our beers, and Dave's not here to do a demo, but something that we could fill this little area with that I thought maybe is kind of a demo that you and I both played. I noticed that you played it. Is fuck, what's it called, Jared?
Oh, it's on both of our beat lists.
It is on both our beat lists. Let me look it up really quick. Oh, it's
Yeah.
interaction isn't explicit. It's free. It's a super. It is actually a demo. It is what it is. It's a demo. It's not in the demos. It's in the free to play for some reason.
Well,
maybe it's in both.
not really a demo though.
No, it's not really a
It's-
demo, but it's kind of a demo.
It's a demonstrate. Yeah, I guess it is a demonstration of gameplay mechanics. It's like
Or
an
development,
essay,
or the
demo
thought.
essay.
Anyway, I found this. So it's called Interaction Isn't Explicit. It released this year in January. It's available. It's 100% free. It takes you about 20-30 minutes to get through. It's super simple, easy. It doesn't cost you anything. And I came upon it just looking through the free-to-play games, like thinking, like, what is this? It's not multiplayer. It's just a single-player thing. And I played through it, and I thought this was really a cool thing. Like, it was really low, low impact. It doesn't really ask that much of you. I thought it was fun. I thought it was really interesting. This guy it's basically this guy created this kind of video game it's kind of an essay as he's talking about game development and the choices that they make to get you to interact with certain things and how that affects you as a gamer. And playing through it, it's just like, I just thought it was kind of cool. And then, the kind of the look is super kind of interesting. It's simple. I mean, I think it's all Unreal.
Yeah.
It's all.
It wasn't like built to be like this perfect seamless thing.
Right.
There's lots of
I got
points
stuck
where you get
and
stuck
fucked
and
up.
things like that. But it's literally just an essay. This guy could have written this paper for college or something like that, but
Right.
instead he did a game essay.
And then Sony actually backed it as a, like, I don't know if they paid him for anything, but like there was an actual Sony commercial that like Sony put out with their branding on it, and it's just like, wow, this is really cool. Why didn't I hear anything about this? Like, why?
I
No
never
one
saw
cares.
an article about it.
No articles. None of the game podcasts picked up on it. And so I'm looking at it and it's like, wow, this came out in January. This is kind of cool. This is an interesting concept. It's kind of cool. Like, these are things that he explains different interaction types as you're playing a game. And these are all things that as gamers we take for granted, but then he kind of puts them into perspective as like why they use them. And it's I just thought it was cool. And I just thought that, like, everyone should try it out. It doesn't, and then the cool thing is that, you got a bunch of gold trophies, it's like,
Yeah.
whatever.
There's only like one that I missed or something like that.
But, I don't know. I thought it was really interesting. I thought it was, kind of fun. I thought, the vibe was cool. The music that he got a song from a band, I forget French
I can't
something.
think of the name of the band, but
It's
I
like
like
French
the
something.
music that's playing.
Yeah, it's like he is like cool and it fits the vibe, and I just like, wow, this is for free for like a cool little experience.
It's like 45 minutes. That's it.
I don't even know if it was that long, but
Yeah, yeah, up to 45.
but I thought it was super cool. I mean, what did you think of it, Jarrod? I mean,
It was interesting. I wanted to keep doing it. Some of the like battling and stuff like that, you had to clear a wave of enemies or whatever, and that got annoying in a couple of places. But that's the kind of the point that he was trying to get across.
right,
The more
right.
enemies, do this, get to the next point.
You didn't. You know what I
That
found
kind
out?
of
You didn't even
stuff.
have to fight him. You could just run
No,
around him.
huh?
Yeah. So I just kind of skipped him, like, because like you're right. The shooting mechanic isn't the greatest. I like the concept that they shoot at you and you can dodge the bullets because they're slow. I thought that was
Yeah,
cool. That was kind of interesting. But like, it was kind of a clunky shooting mechanic. But some of
yeah.
the things where you had to shoot, you could just run past them. So
Well, it was interesting because to get health after they fall down, you have to shoot them in the head. But if you need more ammo, you have to
if
go
the
up close and melee
melee,
attack them.
yeah, it's a
So
very
that was
interesting.
neat.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
think
and
there was cool concepts for
yeah,
sure. Kind of a Doom thing, like kind of how Doom does a you do execute for health or
yeah,
ammo or
or
whatever.
chainsaw
Yeah, yeah,
'em or
yeah.
whatever.
So
Yeah,
like it had that kind of
hmm
mentality. So it's not new,
absolutely.
but it was definitely something that like, oh, that's kind of smart.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
it's worth playing. Again, it's free. Just go on the PlayStation Store and look for "Interaction Isn't Explicit."
I just thought the vibe was cool. You're right, the music. I just thought like, for something that was free and this guy worked on and I just like, wow, this is cool. More people should talk about this. And then actually teaching us something, kind of like why they do this or why, he references all these different games like BioShock and God of War, Last of Us, and then
Oh,
he
he
throw
loves Shadow of the
and then his
Colossus.
favorite game is Shadow of the Colossus, which is apparent by spoiler, the final boss battle. It's just I just thought that was kind of smart and cool. And it's like if you could tighten this up and do like a longer form of it, man, that'd be kind of a cool game, really. But I thought it was really interesting, and I'd like to see more of it, but we'll see.
It would
But
be interesting to get like a developer's point of view on playing it
oh right, 100.
because
percent
it's aimed at developers and trying to, inspire them or educate them on different
I thought it was
methods of
aimed towards
gameplay and things
us.
like that. I don't know. It seems like it's aimed towards people
You think so?
interested in actually developing a
Oh,
game.
maybe young people that are interested in developing games. I think developers already know that kind of stuff, but I think like gamers that are interested in developing games or young people that are like interested in getting into development, I think this is kind of aimed towards them 100%. But I think developers already know this stuff. I mean, he's obviously developing this. I don't know. I just thought it was I don't know. I haven't seen anything like it. I thought it was cool, and
Yeah, I
I just
get it.
want more people to check it out. So like if you're listening, it's 100% free. It's not multiplayer. I know it's in the free to play. Free to play generally means money and play multiplayer, but it has nothing to do with that. It's in the free to play section, but
hmm
it has
It
nothing.
has 7 gold trophies. 5 you get just for completing it. There's like 2 oddball goals. One I accidentally got.
Yeah, there's like a headshot one and then something else.
There's one
There's a bronze
part
for
of it where
something.
you have to push a button and like fling up an enemy into the
Oh yeah,
sky.
yeah. They want you to, and that's a bronze. So
That's the one I did.
everything's gold except for this one bronze trophy where you have to fling a dude up in the air. It's like,
Oh, that
what?
was
It's so
bronze.
funny.
Yeah.
And I didn't even bother with this. I didn't go
hmm
back and play through that stuff. But
No.
no, I was really impressed by it for some reason. I was taken like, oh, this is a cool experience for free to play. It's like I don't know. So like kind of look once in a while in the free to play section. Maybe you guys are gonna find something that you're not really expecting. That's kind of what I took from this. Is like Sony's gonna bury some stuff there that might be kind of cool. So yeah, that's
There's
in.
so much free to play stuff
Oh,
that
I
comes up
know.
now. It's
So much.
hard to figure out
We're
what to
gonna talk
even
about more
download.
some of it later. So
Yeah, I know you played something.
but that's interaction isn't explicit. That's taking up the Doctor demo this week. But I think it's super cool. It's edgy. I like the style of it. So anyway, please, more people check it out. I think it's cool. All right. We're gonna get to the just shoot the shit stuff. Play video games, talk video games.
Well, did you have a beat list since
Yeah.
the last time you recorded?
So yeah, no. So
Yeah, you want to
no,
go
we
over
haven't.
that?
We haven't. We were gonna do the beat list. That's right, Jared. We're gonna. I mean, obviously, we both beat Interaction isn't explicit. Super simple
That's
game
true.
to beat.
There's
but
one.
we both beat that. But yes, we're gonna do some beat list stuff. I also think that we both beat since we last talked. We both beat the Destiny 2 the Final Shape DLC,
Including Echoes Chapter 1.
Yes. So there is that content that we could talk about. I don't know. What do you have to say about that? The final. The Destiny.
I'm excited for more. The episode 2 comes out in like 8 days, so next Tuesday. So I'm excited to see where that goes with everything that's going on with the Vex on Nessus. If they're gonna drastically change any part of Nessus, or if it's just gonna be like different levels that they create that you load into or something like that. Because I mean, there's different like things that are going on in certain areas of Nessus, so it'll be interesting to see how that develops, or if it just moves to a different planet or something like that.
Now, as someone like myself who hasn't played the seasons like you have with your brother and stuff, how aggressive do they change some of that stuff? Because like I don't know, this is the first season I've actually really played.
It does seem a little bit different. Just in like there seems to have been different locations that you might go and things like that, where like in my experience, I only played a handful of seasons, but most of us just like now going to the helm, talking to whoever,
Right.
and just rinse and repeat. But it's probably going to be a lot of that, but I think this time I feel like there's more recorded dialogue in different locations, and maybe even changes to the environments that I'm noticing. So I don't know. I'm probably not the best one to talk about that. I would love to have my oldest brother on someday just to talk about Destiny.
It would be great,
because that's like the only game he plays. Literally.
So I thought I had finished. So like this is way back. So like I thought I had finished it. Hadn't really finished it. Finished the exotic mission that actually finishes the story. And so Jarrod and I played. I mean, Jarrod had already played it, but then we played the 12-man mission,
which
that
is a lot of fun.
actually concludes the final shape. Really, aside from what the raid is, probably, which we'll probably never play. We might play, but probably will never play.
Well, it kind of mentions it in that 12-man thing,
right,
where like we postponed it pretty much. Defeated
right
him for now.
And then there's definitely story stuff that basically concludes what is the final shape. But this is a new mode. This is something we've never seen before in Destiny, that 12-man kind of weird battle, which it seemed very cool because it seems like you're like it's like that mission in like Mass Effect 3 where you talk to everybody and you gather everybody to go do that final mission, and then you go fight. You all like gather together and you do that final mission, and then it's just a fucking clusterfuck of just people killing shit.
It's a 12-man boss fight.
Yeah, it's gnarly.
It's really just a 12-man boss fight, and there's really powerful enemies everywhere. You are going to die a lot, but that's okay.
But it's a lot of fun. It's kind of a cool
hell
thing.
Of a lot of fun.
It's cool that they're exploring that kind of stuff. It'd be cool to see them, if they stick with this, if they stick with Destiny and they don't reboot, they don't do a new Destiny or something. It'd be cool to see them explore this kind of stuff further, because it's kind of unique and different and interesting, and I don't know. There's never been a 12-man thing, right?
No. I mean, it's been 6 for the raid.
6 for raids.
Maybe is it? How many? You play Crucible more than me. I don't know how many people are in Crucible.
That's like 6v6.
Yeah, so that's the closest thing. They 12-person server, but this time you're not fighting each other. It's co-op stuff.
And how did you feel about the story? Just like I don't think we've talked really. I mean, like as it closes. As Destiny, as we know it, Destiny closing, the massive arc. How do you feel about it?
I liked it. I did. The prismatic thing where you're bound and you merge the light and the dark and create the prismatic. I like that arc and how the story worked into that.
I like it being a
The
secondary. Like it's not like
Yeah,
you like in the other previous
yeah.
where it's like you have a new alt or a new subclass. It's like a
Hmm.
subclass, and I like the fact that you have this additional power. That's kind of badass. It's fun to use, and
It is.
I don't know.
Yeah, and yeah, again, yes, you have your super as well.
Right. But even if I mean, there's certain enemies that need you need to use them to defeat the prismatic. But like, even if you never come across prismatic enemies and you just use your prismatic ability, it is super powerful and it's super fun to use, and like it just destroys some shit and it's super fun to use. So I like
Yeah, and
that.
I didn't even spend the time to customize it, and just kind of like whatever they had you start with is what
Right.
I've been using, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. And
100%
people have min maxed the hell out of that.
for
Did
sure.
super meta on that whole aspect, and it seems like it's kind of game breaking, which Bungie's like, oh yeah,
Sure.
that's fine, that's all
Whatever.
right, have fun.
That's what we're gonna
Of
do.
course, they're gonna nerf some things here and there. There's even like a sidearm that
Oh.
seems like a hand cannon, and it
It's more than a
destroys
hand cannon.
everything in
It's like
very few hits.
Yeah, it's like I don't even the call that like
The
is like
call,
it's like a shotgun, but it shoots straight and
long range,
long
yeah,
range and
it's
just
wild.
destroys
It's
shit,
like
dude.
shoots rockets,
It's fucking gnarly.
and it feels good to play with.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so they really wanted people to have fun with this, and I absolutely enjoyed every moment of the Final Shape, and I'm yet again excited to play more of the Season of Echoes, Chapter 2. Yeah, do they even call it seasons now? It's just chapters.
no, it's seasons, and then
Yeah,
there's 3 acts in this
3
season.
acts in
Yeah.
the season. And,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
again, the second season
I did-
starts.
I
next
kind of
week.
hadn't played much because I've been gone. Dave and I went to Reno and stuff.
Yeah,
And then yesterday I did log in and kind of fuck around and
Me
do some
too.
stuff. And but yeah, I'm just kind of waiting around for the next stuff to be doled out. But I don't know, man. It's super fun. It's funny because I hadn't played in for so long, and then it just re-encaptured me. I think I'm like at 120 hours now. It's like, how did that
Yeah.
happen? How did that happen? You know?
That's great.
So yeah, it's definitely been like a coming back. Coming
Yeah.
home, kind of coming home situation. It's been a
Well,
lot of
I'm
fun.
glad after all these years of you just playing through the main campaign and then doing nothing but talking shit about Destiny 2
And then
for how many
replaying
goddamn years,
and then
and
replaying
you
Destiny
finally get
1
back in.
over and over again. It's like, Destiny 1's the best. Yeah, no, I'm gonna eat my shit on that one. I think Destiny 2 is 100% better than Destiny 1.
Destiny 2 is awesome.
It is awesome,
Yeah.
and
I
I
will
would
keep playing
agree.
it
Though I
whenever they
would
release
say
new
that
stuff.
Destiny 2 when it launched was pretty rough and was not fun. I still hold that, but I do think they figured their shit out, and I do think as a person that came back to it, if you're a person that's willing to just stick around and figure shit out, it's not as hard to figure out as you might think it is. I know there's a lot of menus, but it's pretty simple. It's
So-
basically asking you some pretty simple stuff. And then I was getting into Crucible like a couple weeks ago. I was playing I have on my Crucible rank, I've played like 5 in a row. I think you need 6 to fill the thing, but I played 5 matches in a row undefeated. Like
Nice. That's awesome.
and I'm not like bottom tier. I'm like mid tier. I'm like second or third. I don't get the most kills, but man, I was feeling good about it. It's like, goddamn.
Yeah,
Goddamn.
I just don't have an interest in PvP unless I'm with a group.
But you get stuff.
I won't play PvP solo.
I
'cause
feel
it's-
that.
I just don't.
But there's bounties, and then you get stuff, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
I
and then you
haven't
get,
even claimed that Shaxx mission. It's just flashing on my screen. Shaxx is hanging out there like, hey, dude,
Well,
Come on,
I'll play it
shoot
with you.
some shit.
I'll play it with you.
So
I'm not
so
bad at it.
so going back to quests being confusing and the map and all that stuff,
Yeah.
I've found a way. I've actually, I know the map pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But now what I do is just I go into the quest tab and click on the crown, which is like current stuff or recently acquired things. You hit triangle on any mission and it will give you details. And down below it says launch.
Yeah.
And it takes you to the location automatically. You don't have to find it on the map.
Sometimes.
And it's fucking great.
Not always.
Well, yeah, not always. That's
some
right.
Of the
but
exotic,
if you hit
some of
X
the
on
exotic missions are like kind of vague, and they don't allow that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, of course.
they give you an
generally-
area you need to go to, but they don't give you the precise. But yes,
Yeah.
I 100% agree. Yeah,
absolutely simplified it. It
Yes.
took a whole screen or 2 screens out of it because you don't have to tab over. You don't have
Right.
to slowly move your cursor over to the location on the map. It's just
I think
launch
my
it.
only thing that pisses me off is that there's 2 different menu systems. Like there's when you hit start and it goes to your character.
I always
and
get
there's
confused which one I need to load
trackpad
up.
and it goes to like mission. It's like, can't this just all be under one? Is there not a way we could figure out a way to just put them all under one? Like I would just rather hit start and have everything. The whole
Whole bunch of tabs.
trackpad, hit trackpad and then hold trackpad. It's just like, come on, man. Can we just... Anyway, that's my only real complaint. It's like there's 2 menu structures that I'm just like, got to remember which one I'm gonna. Anyway, it's silly.
But when I think about it, some other like free to play games have added really confusing ways to get to different sections of the menus, like a whole wheel
Right.
to access question mark. You just have to know the icons. You're like, which one was inventory? Oh shit. Do I need to hit options and go down to the menu in this, or do I use the wheel? I don't know.
Right.
So comparing it to that, Destiny's done pretty okay because it's in one or the other versus just what's that icon?
I just feel like there's some things that we don't need to know. Like, I don't need to be aware that I've picked a lot of bounties, and every time I pick a bunch of bounties, and the quest thing's flashing, and it's like I don't need to know that. Like,
this is a new mission. You just picked it up from
yes, no shit, I picked it up,
a
asshole.
bounty
No
ticker.
fuck, you know.
Yeah.
There's some shit that's like kind of like, I don't know, whatever. It's fine, but for the most part, I've gotten reacquainted with it, and I think. There's just so many menus. It's just like, and there's so much content that it's tracking because there's old quests that you can keep doing and it tracks that. And it's like, well, that's cool. But for the most part, I'm sticking to the new stuff. I finished all the old stuff for the most part that I want to deal with. And
it's funny because so for those that don't know, we have our Discord channel, and one of the topics in there is our beat list. And in like a month period, you saw all the different expansions to Destiny slowly pop up
because I beat them all. Yeah.
from Ian churning through all the content in Destiny 2. So like a couple of days later or a few days later, boom, here's the next one. Here's the next one. And he
100%.
finished them all. He did.
Lightfall weakest. I liked Beyond Light the best, but I think the Witch Queen had the best battle, ending boss battle. Like that one was actually.
Oh yeah,
rough.
Sabathun's awesome.
That's a tough one to do solo, and I enjoy doing that. So they all have their kind of things, but yeah, it was fun to go through that stuff. I mean, we got it all. I got it all free from Sony. I didn't pay for it, so it's cool. Like Sony gave it all for free on PS Plus, and then it primed me for the final shape, and then the final shape far and exceeds those. I think it's I think it exceeds the original, Destiny 2 as a game. It's like the storytelling, just everything. It's like, wow, what a complete package of I'm glad I played it, Jarrod, because it just wrapped the whole thing up. Like it just made it feel complete for me, you know.
Well, I'm glad that you're not just talking shit about Destiny 2 now. Every goddamn week.
You know, I mean, you know, it was easy to do at the very beginning when I played it because I felt like, and then I never gave it another chance. I never really gave it another chance, you know. And it took me this long to get back into it, but let's be honest. I mean, it still plays. It's the most flawless fucking first-person shooter game
so good.
you'll ever play. I don't know another. I mean, it rivals Call of Duty. It rivals like just. It just feels
just
so
the
good.
Feel.
Just the feel alone is like some of the best. Like when you just kind of like aim and kind of tweak up, and then shoot and hit that headshot. It's the best feeling. It's like one of the best feeling first-person shooters you'll ever play, and I'm actually surprised
it's
that
a
Tony.
Combination of the Twitch reactions of an enemy moving, and when you get that headshot and the sound effect, that is all worth it.
I'm really excited to see. I mean, I'm excited to see what they do next with Destiny, but I am actually really excited to see how this new game that they're developing, Marathon, or their sequel to Marathon, the new Marathon. I am very excited to see what that is, how that plays.
Did I tell you that I played the original? It was given for free
on Steam. Yeah.
On Steam. yeah. It's gonna be nothing like that.
100%. You know, I mean, the old Halos are nothing like, you know, like Halo 1 is nothing like Destiny. You know, it's like. It is what it is. You know, it's a product of a time, but I feel like Destiny 2 has really stood the test of time. Like it's really been refined and tightened, and you know, people talk shit about it, but I talk shit about it, but it's a really good fucking game. And even Jarrod, Jarrod
and I has its naysayers. That's fine. You don't have to like it.
This is a cool thing too, because I feel like there was a time where we weren't really playing a lot, and then we started playing Helldivers together and that kind of stuff. But like Jarrod and I, you know, we played a lot of Destiny 2 together recently, and that's a lot of fun too, you know, just to kind of, you know, do that. That's, you know, that's fun. Destiny 2 allows for fun and engages fun, and that's what's super cool about it. So we've probably talked way too much about it, Jarrod.
That's okay. We can move on.
Let's.
So we're still talking about the beat list.
Yeah, the beat list.
I beat Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
It
only took me 86 hours to do, and I still have tons of content to go through.
Is that you haven't even 86 hours, and that's because didn't you re-borrow it back from Dave to play the DLC?
No, that's Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, that's 16. My bad.
I still haven't gotten 16 back. It's funny because I have the second DLC for Final Fantasy 16 downloaded and ready to go. I just don't have the disc yet. I haven't seen Dave in forever.
7 is Cloud and Tifa. Yes. My bad. I apologize.
I absolutely loved Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and the choices they made with the story and how much they added. It's such an additive game to the original. Like I was actually really impressed with the environments.
Okay.
While some of them were kind of a pain in the ass to navigate at times, after you get used to it, you know, each area kind of has its own little quirks, and you get a chocobo that navigates those quirks. So you want to find the chocobo as soon as possible,
right?
Or whatever vehicle by progressing the story. But I loved all the characters, the voice actors. I am so impressed with every voice actor in the game. All the lines were delivered so well. The characters were fleshed out to the nth degree. And it made me love Final Fantasy VII even more than I did back in 98 when I played it.
My question is, what is the definitive version for you at this point then? Like Final Fantasy VII as the PS1 game was a monumental game that changed the landscape for a long. Now you have this game that is really a totally fucking different game that tells a similar story. Like it's not the same game at all. You know, it's like
it
where
hits most of the beats,
right.
and I think I have a feeling that Final Fantasy VII originally had a broader scope, like most games have a much more broad scope than release.
Right.
And these details that have been added have been added because of all the history of fans, stories told afterwards, ideas, thoughts. So much went into this.
Mm-hmm.
And like Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is the first part of 3, I liked. It was fine. I just kind of churned through it and didn't think a ton. It was okay.
I
It was a
enjoyed it, but
solid
I felt
seven
like
and
I
a
was just
half, 8 out of 10.
I felt like I would just kept doing like grindy stuff. Like I just go
Yeah,
in here and come back. It's like because I was actually kind of enjoying it, and I kind of still want to. I still have this like I still have this desire to like play through it, but I just felt like, wow, is this gonna move on? Like, am I just gonna be stuck here in this spot forever? Like, can we
yeah.
move at this point?
So
Like,
some of the changes that they made in that were pretty heartbreaking deaths
mm,
and things like that. Like
mm,
that was really impactful, and it worked. Some of the characters that weren't really a huge part of Final Fantasy VII originally, they really fleshed them out and even made like silly jokes towards Cloud and having a crush on him and stuff like that. And all that relationship stuff was fun and interesting.
so how do you
But
feel the
it
pacing is on this one? Like the part two. How do you feel the pacing is on this one?
I honestly thought it was great because while yeah, you can just crush through this story and that's fine. But the side quests, while not all of them are additive, a large percentage of them are additive to the story and the characters and develops their personality
Mm-hmm.
and their relationship with your character and other characters. It's not just, oh, just go get these things and come back to me. While there are some of those, not many of them exist.
Right.
And like the as you do them and complete them, you get interactions with the characters, new dialogue, uh sometimes goofy, because Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth really takes the seriousness away, and there's so many dumb jokes, stupid shit happening left and right. I was laughing often, but it's also still very very heartfelt, like Final Fantasy 7 a lot. That's like, I think the joke's been around for Final Fantasy VII a long time. It's like the first time nerds really cried over a video game.
Right.
And there's a lot of emotions that get thrown around in this because the character interactions are so well done.
My other question. With this version, Final Fantasy, what is it? Rebirth. Um, do you agree with how? I mean, without spoiling, where they end the story for and set it up for chapter 3? Do you agree with how it ends and sets up, or were you like kind of like, oh, this is weird? Was it jarring? Was it perfect? How do you feel about the kind of where it ends?
I'm interested to see where it goes. It kind of gives me thoughts of the movie Final Fantasy VII, Advent Children,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and kind of how that ends, and that I think that may have been thought of when they were producing the ending of this.
Mm-hmm.
Where I mean, it's hard to draw that line because the end of Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, it's like, there's some weird corruption on people's skin, and it was like a disease, and Mako got healed, and it started raining, and everybody got cured, and all this stuff. But there was like that had like a shot of Aerith in it and stuff like that. That makes me think to what happened in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's no way of spoiling it, but it's a thought piece, I guess.
Okay.
So for people that haven't played this yet that are very interested, um, that's kind of where I went with it when I finished the game, and I'm really interested to see where it goes.
What are some of the things you didn't like about, you know, maybe they were from the first game, like remake into Rebirth. What did that carry over? Or is there something new that you didn't like? What is something you're not really fond of in this, you know, remake of this game?
That I don't know. I guess it's kind of silly, but the amount of mini games
Mm-hmm.
normally would be fine because you're often not forced. Well, I guess in Final Fantasy VII, every mini game that was there you were forced to play. So this one you're also forced to play, and I swear there's like 2 chapters that are just mini games.
Oh boy. Hey Dave,
But
you listen to that,
but
Dave?
but no, it's funny because a lot of them are really fun
Oh, okay.
until they're
Okay.
not. Because the challenge gets,
But they make you play
as you
them?
progress. Yeah, he played all of them. A lot.
Oh, why aren't they optional? Why aren't they optional
They
games?
they kind of are.
They kind of are, but you have to play them?
Certain ones.
Uh,
Um well, it so that's funny. That's hard for me to say because I wanted to play them. So I don't know if they were optional or not.
okay.
Because like getting to the golden saucer, there's so many mini games. But I didn't play any of the Queen's Blood, whatever the fuck that card game's called. I played tons of that early on,
Mhm.
and eventually got a knack for it. And I was doing really good.
But that's
I even
new to
beat.
this game, right? That's
It
not in the
is.
old game. This is a
Yeah,
new.
it is. And there's droves of people that want this just to be its own like
Mm,
mobile game or something like that, digital collectible card game,
like the Gwent.
because it
Like
is really well thought out. It's actually really impressive game. Just and that's coming from me. I can't stand card games. I hate card games, but I was really enjoying Queen's Blood.
okay, all right.
But again, I made it to like level 5 or 6 or something like that, and it goes way higher, level 9 or something like that. Like in the Golden Crown, after you make it to a certain point, it just goes to like these crazy top tier players and stuff like that. But even then, there's like side quest missions for specific characters that have you play it. You
Mm.
don't have to, but it helps for so each character has a relationship status, and that relationship status determines who you get to go on a date with later in the game. Chapter 12, I believe. And as an example, Yosef Hatlani, streamer on Twitch,
Friend of the show.
friend of the show, he's just been crushing the story
Mhm.
and not focusing. He hasn't, as far as I know, he didn't do any side quests
Mm-mm.
for anybody.
He's not a
So
side
he
quester.
he got
That
the
Yusef
date.
is not into side quests.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, and he got burned with this date. With it was a combination of Vincent Valentine, Kate Sith, and Barrett. Or yeah, I think it was three. No. It was Sid Highwind. Sid Highwind. So Barrett was its own date. You could go on a date with Barrett by himself. But
okay.
those 3 characters, and that seems to be the bottom of the barrel. But after you beat the game, you can actually go through all these different ones. But I just ended up watching a video on all these different ones, and the date with Kate Sith, Vincent, and Sid was hilarious.
That's funny.
It was actually really good character building moments. So like every date I watched was really interesting for different reasons.
Did it make you feel bad about your choice in the date?
No,
Like, no,
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 I
no.
gotta go on a date with Tifa,
Oh,
baby.
okay. Then never mind. But
Yeah,
like,
she was my
but you
date.
weren't jealous or like you like I wish that
No,
was my. Okay, okay.
I mean
Yeah,
I was hoping to get a date with either Tifa or Aerith.
but it has no play in how the game plays out.
No, but there's a whole section with like an opera
Okay,
that plays out different depending on what character you have.
okay.
I mean, it's funny because Yuffie, she's young, she's like in her teens or whatever, and you go like I watched a video, you go on a date with her, and she's like pretty much ew, don't tell anybody kind of stuff, and it's
Right.
funny, but it's interesting and fun. So like no matter what date you get, it's interesting uh, based on conversations that happen on the date. So like you're not going to lose.
My other question, and I think it's kind of my last question, unless I come up with something else. What do you think remake and rebirth? What do you think? What is the best thing they have done for this series? Like those games. What do you think is the best thing they're doing within those games
The
for you?
best thing they are doing for Final Fantasy VII as a whole is kind of what I'm getting out of that question. And my thoughts on that are they give you a character that you kind of had to make on poor dialogue back in the 90s. The dialogue wasn't great.
Right.
You kind of had to imagine what the character was going to be, which was hard because the writing wasn't super good. It wasn't translated great, and a lot has changed since then. And now these characters, you know what their reactions are gonna be like because they're so well fleshed out. These characters. If you've played Final Fantasy VII Remake, you you know a lot about these characters already. And if you played the original and you know what characters are coming up, you have stuff to look forward to
Right.
because they're all done really really well. I like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is way better than Remake. It is. Remake it was pretty good, but Rebirth is like top tier game.
Cool. All right. Is there anything else you want to add to your rebirth review?
Uh, I watched videos on obtaining the platinum, and no, absolutely not. These are like this is almost 200-hour platinum with crazy difficulty curve that I don't want to deal with.
Is there any more gameplay in it for you though? Or are you done? Done.
Yeah. I mean, she's. I didn't do any of the advanced missions because after you progress through the story, there's mini games and advanced levels of those with different rewards and character interactions and side quests and all
Right.
that. As I got into these chapters, I stopped doing as many side quests because I was spending so much time in the game, and I really wanted to move to something else.
Mm-hmm.
Which I still haven't decided what I want to do. I'm still waiting to meet up with Dave to get Final Fantasy 16 so I can finish the DLC for that. It's funny how Final Fantasy crazy I've been in the last year
Yeah, man. You've been
because
playing
I've
through
been
all the
going nuts,
games.
but they're all so different, and that's what I love about the series. It's not a continuation,
But
and
how?
it's
I have a
unfortunate.
question. I have a question about this though. How hardcore are you gonna take this Final Fantasy playthrough? Like, how far are you gonna go? Are you gonna go through all of them again, or like where are you gonna stop? Are you gonna stop at a certain
I don't
point?
know. Well, because like right now, I
I
think
mean,
I
you're
can
gonna borrow a
play.
PS2 from me and play X.
Well,
Like
I think
what?
I can play it on PlayStation with my subscription right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're
That
right.
kind
You're
of
probably
stuff.
right.
So I think all those are on there or were,
I have 13 on
but
PS3.
like there's certain ones I have not ever finished. Like I'm working on one of them, Final Fantasy V. I've played 6 many times. I've
Mm-hmm.
beat 7 several times, and I'm working on it through the remakes. 8 I never finished.
Do you have a
I'm
plan though? Or
excited.
are you just like, I'm gonna play until you just get tired?
Well, it's not even about getting tired because they're absolutely different games.
Sure,
There's
sure.
nothing. So I think that's one thing that puts off a lot of people from playing numerated games is that
Mm.
it seems like it may be a continuation,
Well, Final
but it's
Fantasy is
not.
definitely right. It's like Final Fantasy has never been a continuation. They've
Yeah.
always
So
been different games.
it's such an old school
Right.
convention for games where the sequel will just be the next number. So like Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, all these like old school RPGs, none of them are a continuation as far as I know. It may have similar characters, but they're different people
Mm.
with different story arcs, with different relationships. There's nothing that is the same. So there's really no way to get bored because at least in Final Fantasy, the gameplay changes in ways that make it interesting. That's Final Fantasy 13 with lightning.
Yeah, Jared's gonna totally play this. He's coming for it.
I didn't like 13 that much.
But you got to play it, right?
I finished it. I don't know. Maybe.
So
Maybe.
he might
I'll
not
see
go
how far
there.
I go.
He might not. He might not. You heard it here first. He's like he's playing 3, but he's probably gonna stop at 12. Is what he's saying. He's gonna stop at 12.
Uh, Well, I never got to finish 12 also because
See,
my PS2 crashed and burned because of Twisted Metal Black's online features after I installed the modem in the
well,
PlayStation
quitting
2.
at 12 seems fair enough. I wouldn't. I wouldn't have to
Yeah.
pressure you beyond that. Then.
Yeah. So what I see is after I beat 6, I'll try 8 and maybe 9. 10 was great. They did a remaster.
Are you not gonna play through
Uh,
7 because you're playing through the remake?
Oh no, 7 is butt. That game looks like garbage. I don't want to
So
play through that.
you're not even
No,
gonna touch it. So, and
no.
your argument is that you're doing the remake right now.
Yeah,
right?
I'm just doing the remakes. I think Final Fantasy VII on PS1 is pure trash, and it's hard. Most PS1 and like N64, that era of games is hard to look at,
Can we
and I don't want to
get a
play
quote
any
on
of them.
that, Jared Clark?
Yeah,
Final
yeah,
Fantasy
absolutely.
7
Cut that. Yeah,
looks like pure trash, pure butt.
Yeah, I
Quote,
mean,
quote it.
name one PS1 game that actually looks good that's 3D.
I don't know.
Yeah, 2D ones. Yeah, cool. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, they're fine. There's a lot of great 2D games, but 3D games don't age well. N64, most of those games look like trash. Now,
Mhm.
PS1 games look like
Right.
trash.
I'm
Sega
just
Saturn
trying to
games
figure out
look
where
like butt.
we're at here on the Final
Yeah,
Fantasy spectrum.
yeah. So, I don't want to hurt myself playing these games.
Gotcha.
And like I personally I like these remakes and things like that because they add modern features that make it a little bit easier to swallow. Where I'm not in it for the difficulty of the battle systems and stuff like that. While the battle systems can still be fun when it's easy, it's not crushing me and
Right.
making me grind
Right.
and annoying circles and stuff like that.
Cool.
It's fun.
All right. There you are.
Yes,
I think
here
that's the
I
end
am.
of your beat list.
Is it?
I think I have. I mean, we'd have to go all the way back, and I mean, we already talked
Yeah,
about Final
yeah.
Fantasy, the smaller
Yeah, Final
games.
Fantasy 4. All right, cool.
Yeah, we talked about those
I'm
games.
I'm
a
almost
bit.
done with 5.
I think we mentioned Bayonetta the last time you were on.
Bayonetta. Oh yeah, geez, that was in April.
I
Yeah,
think-
Starfield
I'm
and
pretty
Bayonetta is
sure.
what
I'm
I
pretty
beat
sure
in
that's the
April.
last one. So I only have one more game to talk about on the beat list, and I beat EA's Immortals of Avium. It's this weird kind of it's this weird kind of game where you're a magician. Well, you're a mage, and you fight this horde, and it's really just a Battlefield first-person shooter game. And your different magics are your SMG, your shotgun, your assault rifle.
Mhm.
I've talked about it a long time ago, and then I
Yeah, I
stopped
thought you beat it back then.
I didn't beat it yet. I kind of
Okay.
I played 8 hours of it and stopped, and then I played recently. I'm on break now, and I
It's on my console.
play the rest of it. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it goes on for a little too long. Um, I don't. I think the story's kind of
How
it
many
could,
hours did it take you?
uh,
Estimate.
like 12,
12?
maybe.
Okay, that
It's
yeah,
not a
yeah.
long game. I
Like
just feel
8
like
is about average
12 to
for like a
14, maybe. I'll
FPS.
say 12 to 14. I think it should have been a solid 10 is where like it should have been like Titanfall, like a solid 8 to
Mhm.
10. I feel like it has a little weird. I feel like the story hiccups in the middle, and it's like, well, we didn't need this kind of. We could have like cut this out and just ended it. And I think that's what they should have done, but they kind of expand it, and it's like, whatever, it's fine. It's a lot of fun to play. If you like exploring, there's a lot of stuff to do after you beat the game. There's a lot of like puzzles and exploring that you can do, which is not my thing. It's Jarrod's thing, so maybe Jarrod will get into it. But I think this game, a lot of potential. It's really sad that this. I think they let this whole team go. I don't think this team's
Oh,
around
that's
anymore.
sad. Do you
But,
remember what the dev team's name is?
I don't actually, but I think it's a really solid game. It's a lot of fun. It handles really well. It's like a really just solid first person shooter, even though you're doing magic and stuff and have a shield, and it's really just a first person shooter. 100%. But I really enjoyed it. We got it free on PS Plus, but it's worth playing. I think it's a lot of fun. And yeah, it's Immortals of Avium. I mean, some of the action's a little over the top. I think the character's a little over the top sometimes, but I don't know, man. I enjoyed it. I thought they could have tightened it up quite a bit. Again, like it's maybe a 14-hour, 15-hour game. It probably could have been a 10-hour game. We could have trimmed some of the fat and made it a little more concise. That's my only real, because it's like, do we need this? I'm done. Kind of. Okay, we'll keep playing.
So,
but
so when it comes to this is an EA game, and in recent years, EA has released several original
mm-hmm,
games,
mm-hmm.
and people have not been rewarding them for releasing original content.
Yeah, like
And
somehow EA
it's
is like this
unfortunate.
awful. EA is this awful company where actually EA is like, in a lot of ways, the better company than some of these other companies.
Yeah. I mean, everywhere else is scared and only doing sequels, and unfortunately, that is what's thriving. Where
Yeah.
EA, they're releasing these huge risks
Trying.
on the market,
This was a big risk, and I think
and it's failing them every time. So they're gonna bunch up in the same group as everywhere else and only do sequels, and that's sad.
But I think the marketing for this game wasn't that good, and I think the game itself could have done with a polishing. Like, I think this game could have made it.
This was Ascendant Studios, an independent AAA team led by Brett Robbins, creative director of Dead Space and Call of Duty.
See, there you go.
Published by EA Originals.
This game, man, I think that if they trimmed it down a bit and then marketed it differently, I think this game could have been a hit. That's my opinion. Maybe it could never have been, but anyway, whatever. That doesn't matter now. That's
I'm
here
glad
nor
you
there.
enjoyed it. It
This
makes me
game
want
is
to play
out.
it.
It's
more.
a lot of fun. I think it's a lot of fun. If nothing else, it's a fucking fun ass game to play. Like, it's and it's always asking you to switch between your weapons, because your weapons are color coded. You have your assault rifles blue, your shotguns red, your SMGs green. Certain enemies have shields that you have to be constantly switching. It's a lot of fun. You have puzzles that ask you to do certain like schemes with your color coded weapons. It does a lot of cool, fun shit. I think it could have been a banger. It just misses the mark somehow. I don't know how. I think the campaign was a little shorter. I think if they marketed it differently, but at the end of the day, maybe it still wouldn't have won, but I think this is one of those great fun games that you get and you get to play and experience that I think is totally worth it. I think it's super fun. Like, I haven't, like, I don't know. After Destiny, it's probably some of the best first-person shooter shit I've had fun with.
Okay, so I've been trying to think of what game I'll start next since I finally finished Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
But it's like a 12 to
And
14 hour game, Jared.
yeah,
That's what you're
yeah.
looking at.
So, well, because I still have Tiny Tina's Wonderlands on my system, and
but
I
you wanna
haven't beat
play that.
I haven't
We
played
should
much
play-
of that.
We should play that together, though. We should
Yeah,
we should
yeah.
drag Nick into that too.
Yeah, because I know several people that own the game. At least one of us have not.
We
beat
should
it
play that
next to me.
Okay, and
it's on my system.
If you go into Immortals, go to Immortals by yourself. But if you want to
Yes.
seriously, I'll totally play. I'm on break right now, so if you maybe you hold off Immortals until I go back to work. If you want to play Tiny Tina's, I'll play Tiny Tina's with you, 100%. I'll play that with you tomorrow, dude.
Yeah,
I'll install it tonight
I'll-
and install it, and I'll install it tonight and play with you tomorrow. But yeah. But anyway, that's a shooty shoot game, so I don't know.
Yeah,
that comes with all
Sometimes
that.
it's fun just to have a shooty shoots game, and Destiny. I could find more things to do and upgrade my.
But I
armor
also
and
know that
things
your
like that,
shooty
but
shoot
I'm
time
not
is-
into the grindy grinds.
But I know
so
your
I
shooty
just
shoot
want to get
time.
through the story.
But I know your shooty shoot time is limited because of your kids.
It is.
So
And during summer, the sun stays up too late, so my kids do too.
aren't they at camp? What?
No, not yet. That's in like late July and August,
all right.
dude.
Well, I would love to play Tiny Tina's with you. I'll reinstall that.
Yeah, I've loved everything I've played of it, but it's been like a year since I touched it. But
I'll
it's
play
still
that
on
with
my
you. I'll
system,
play
and
that with you.
every once in a while, I'll check for updates just in case there's
I feel
an
like
update.
I feel like
for
I could
when
take a
wanna play
break
it.
from Destiny right now because whatever I can probably
Yeah. There's at least 8 more days until more Destiny 2 content comes out, so we gotta play while we can.
Anyway, that's my Immortals thing. So I think that's the beat list.
Yeah.
Is there
cool.
anything, Jared, that you've been playing just recently? What have you been playing?
Oh, geez, what? So it's funny, like, so last night I decided to just see where I was at in Elden Ring on my New Game Plus playthrough. And I played it for probably an hour and a half, 2 hours, because I just couldn't stop. I was zoning out. My kids were supposed to get ready for bed. I'm just like drooling on myself. I turned the blood off so they can be in the same room and stuff like that.
Right.
And I'm just like staring at the screen, and eventually they disappear, and they're calling for me like, it's time to go to bed. Sing me a song or whatever, and
Sing me a song, Jared.
but you wouldn't want that. But I think I've decided I don't really want to play through the DLC.
You know what, Jared? I am with you. I am 100% with you. I think I was so hyped on it. I was so ready for it. And then having played through, it's like, I think I did it. I think I did it enough. I'm cool with it. I'm happy with I'm happy with my character. I don't know if I really feel like getting my ass kicked again.
It took me 170 hours to platinum the game.
So you platinumed, I didn't.
I did.
But I have 180
And-
some hours on it.
Yeah. And I was thinking of like, I'm on New Game Plus. I still have to beat Radon and
I 100% agree
all,
with
all
you.
that stuff. And I was thinking maybe I should check on my PS4 and see if I have an older save or something like that. And then I'm like, no. I know how, like, in my experience, like, all the From Software DLCs are always hard as fucking balls, dude.
Here's part of my shit with that. Like, this is a questionable. We're gonna talk about it. It's awful, and so Dr. Disrespect was playing it, and I was watching him stream it. So I enjoyed watching him stream it. So I got to see all this cool shit, and he fought all this stuff. And then the drama of Dr. Disrespect hammered down, and then it just like soured me. So it's like, it's just like, well, I've seen all it, and that pisses me off and upsets me. And then like, I don't know, do I really want to spend $40 on this thing where I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy where I was in my game, and
and
I don't
like
know,
Elden Ring, it's not going to go on sale for more than $5
right?
off.
And I
You
just
know.
part of me's just like, I'm just gonna save my money. And
Yeah.
this might be questionable. Some of our listeners will be like, "Fuck you, you're not real gamers." But like, I want to play Star Wars Outlaws, and I want to play
There's too many
Assassin's Creed.
games I
There's other
can't even
games.
afford right now. Like,
I
and
just
I even have DLC for Final Fantasy 16. I haven't gotten to play yet. There's so much shit on my plate, like just installed on my system. I think I have
don't feel bad,
70
Jared.
games installed on my
Don't feel
PS5.
bad. No,
I have,
but I
I think,
feel
about
you.
80 installed on my Switch.
I actually thought you were gonna give me shit for like not wanting to play it because like I just was like, I don't know.
No, even since it was announced, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I've always had that in the back of my
I
mind,
was
like,
getting hyped though. I
From
was in the
Software
hype. I was
DLC.
feeding off it. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna go back. And then all that drama with him, and I was like, I don't. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
And
that's what.
right now, I'm not in the mood for like super challenging games and stuff like that. Um, I mean, the parts of Elden Ring I was playing earlier yesterday, I was like super over leveled, and even then, like a bear was kicking my ass, and I was getting frustrated. Like I didn't want to deal with that.
I feel you. You. It's one of those things where like I appreciate it at the time where it created this like thing where we were playing a video game and we had a shared camaraderie and we were like pushing each other through it and it was a lot of fun. But now it's just like, well, what do we have to prove now? We did it. I don't it I don't need any more of it. It's fine. So, I feel you, Jared. I feel you. You don't have to feel bad about not wanting to play the hardest fucking DLC on the face of the planet.
Yeah, I've never bought like I as much as I loved like Bloodborne and Dark Souls, or not Dark Souls, but Demon Souls. It's funny because out of all the From Software stuff I've played, I've never played their main course. I've never played Dark Souls.
I've never. I mean, I've touched Demon Souls a couple times, but I've
Oh,
never.
I love Demon
I've played
Souls.
a little bit of.
I
I've
mean,
played a little bit of Bloodborne, but I've never played Demon
I've
Souls
I've
or
talked
no
about
Dark
Demon
Souls.
Souls before. I like you may remember that I played it back on PS3, but I just I couldn't do anything. I felt inept at that point. And then it was released on PS5 as a remake, and I'm like, huh, okay. I've played Bloodborne, I've played lots of hard games this year. I'm just gonna try Demon Souls again, and I bought it full price, and I played the hell out of it, and I loved it, and I finished it, and I found it to be such a great game. And beyond like 2 weeks, maybe even a week of release, nobody talked about it after that, and it's such a good game. I think I had Dave try it, and he's like, no, it's not his style of
There's
game.
something inside of me every once in a while that says like, just try Bloodborne again, Ian.
Oh, I loved Bloodborne so much. And I'm with the whole crowd. We need like the PS5
Is
update.
Bloodborne better than Elden Ring, Jared? Are you
No,
on that? No, you don't think so. There's people that
no.
definitely think it is.
I mean, if you like gothic, structures and like demonic, like different monsters and stuff like that. Yeah, it's great for that kind of stuff, but Elden Ring, they're completely different games. It's you can't compare them. You really can't. When it comes to environment,
Did you ever
no,
touch Sekiro? No.
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 I've heard what that game is. I've watched streams of it, and that's too fast paced for me. My fingers would get stupid and clumsy. No,
Not for me.
it's too fast. Too fast for my dumb brain to comprehend. I don't think I'd do good at all. Like Near was too hard for me. I tried and
Near
tried and tried Near, the first one.
Automata or the first one?
No. Neo.
Neo. Oh, I was like Near. What?
Neo.
Neo. Gotcha.
Neo.
Gotcha.
I have Neo 1 and 2, and I upgraded to the PS5 editions. I didn't even touch Neo 2 because
Neo 2's better than Neo
is
1.
it?
Oh yeah.
I have it. I've
Visually,
never touched it
I would touch that
because
one.
Neo 1
I mean, it's still
threw
hard,
me way off.
but I got way further in Neo 2 than I did in Neo 1.
Yeah, I think I made it to like the second like crazy hard boss
I think
and
Neo
just
2 is
quit.
just, it looks better. It's you get to create a better character. It
Yeah,
feels like a better
okay.
game. Neo
Yeah,
1,
maybe some year.
I just like, nah. But you have to be willing to play that shit. You have to want to deal with
Yeah.
that.
And right now I'm not into hard games. Like
Right.
earlier we were talking about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I hit some walls, and I'm like, this is stupid. Like I thought I had it on the easiest difficulty. No, I had it on normal, so I turned it down to easy. Because that's not what. Sometimes I'm looking for a hard game. Sometimes I'm not. And right now I don't have the time for games for them to be hard, for me to bash my head against a wall to try and finish this shit. So like I like my kids are staying up till 10 and 10:30. Like I get like a half hour to play a game before I'm just exhausted. It sucks. So I'm not going to play hard ass games.
Well,
I need easy mode,
okay, well then
story
on
mode.
easy mode, story mode, what else are you playing right now?
Jeez. So I haven't even touched my Xbox. Like I don't have Game Pass subscription or anything like that. So I've really only play on my PlayStation, and I've pretty much just been playing Final Fantasy V and Destiny 2. This week, Astro's Playroom got the second new bot to rescue in
Oh.
anticipation of September when the new game comes
Oh,
out.
really? I didn't know
Well,
that.
they added like 5 more trophies. The fifth one is just completing the other 4.
That's
And
news to me. I didn't even know that was happening. I had no
no,
clue.
Astro's Playroom added several weeks ago after the announcement of Astrobot, the new game coming for PS5 in September. They added a bot in Memory Meadows that is Bloodborne related, and you actually have to find where they will appear, and then in front of them is a screen that shows you what you need to look for. It's a riddle or a mystery to solve, which I'm terrible at. So I always use like a guide or whatever.
Whatever,
So it's
dude.
bullshit. So I
Jared loves the puzzles. He's always into them. He figures
no,
them
well
out.
these are more obscure. Like the first one was Bloodborne reference, and I'm like, what? Okay. But it was specifically Bloodborne DLC reference, and it showed a clock in front of the character, and I'm like, what? So you have to explore the environment until you find a clock in the environment that they added, and then you have to hit a button that normally pulls up the map, but it pulls up a dial, and you have to input a date of the release of the DLC for
Bloodborne?
Bloodborne.
Oh my god.
I'm like, what the bullshit? This is stupid.
That's funny.
Like, who's guessing? Who the hell is figuring this shit out?
That's
Like, how much?
hardcore. That's
Yeah,
hardcore.
that's like more hardcore than me. And so that's the first one. It's the Bloodborne DLC character, which I never played the DLC, as I already announced. Like I'm not, no, fuck no, that shit's hard, no way. And the second one just came out, and I can figure out where the hell, because it's pretty much like standing in a place forever, maybe doing some form of interaction. The first one is like standing somewhere and looking over a cliff for 5 seconds or something like that, and then it pops up in a glass cage with
Right.
that thing on the front. The second one is similar, but I swear I stood there forever, and I started like punching and spinning around in a circle, and then a character from Death Stranding pops up.
Nice.
And then and this is after I watched the video. I'm like, this is bullshit. Like, where, what, huh? Because it's funny because I even stood in that location for a long time waiting for something to happen. I just didn't do the right actions. And then the thing shows up and you're like, oh, okay. And in a very specific point of the map, you walk around and there's a astronaut doll laying there. And you stand on it and you have to fucking die. And like,
On
how
the
the hell would
doll?
you figure that out? And then you respawn right in front of that location and you get that bot. And that you also get the trophy. And there's 2 more up until the release of Astrobot, the game.
It seems like a really aggressive thing for Astrobot to do, like die on a
Dude,
bot. Like, it seems really weird.
it's such a hardcore fan thing. Like, I am not as hardcore as the people finding this shit out. I'm looking this shit up on YouTube. So far, both of them, I had to
That's
look
dumb.
up YouTube.
That's crazy. That's
yeah,
crazy.
it's super hardcore dudes are figuring this out.
So you
Like,
attempted that. You attempted that.
yeah, yeah. I always like, oh, hey, shit, an update downloaded for Astro's Playroom. I better go and look. And then you load in. It says, oh, there's a new bot loaded in this area. So you load in this area. It's like, oh, in this specific zone, which each zone, only takes like 10 minutes to get through,
Sure.
if that.
Sure.
So there's really not much to explore, but there's no specific changes or anything like that to the map. There's only like a place to stand and maybe interact in a specific way, or either just gazing over the cliff or getting in circles or punching, whatever the hell I did to get
do you
the
feel like
second
you
one to
wasted
pop
your
up,
time, basically?
and they show up.
Or you feel like you wasted your time, is what you're saying?
No, dude, it's funny because I love Astro's Playroom so much.
Yeah.
I'm crazy excited for Astrobot.
Right.
That's my highest anticipated game this year.
Highest.
Number 1.
Oh, not
Because
mine.
every Astrobot experience I've had has been nothing but perfection and
100%.
love. I've platinumed every Astrobot game. I'm excited, so excited for a real, like, just
But
they
you feel
made
kind
an
of
Astrobot game.
You feel a little bit betrayed by this experience, is what you're saying.
No. I just another reason to dive into Astro's Playroom.
All right.
That's all. That's fine. I've been through each of those levels dozens and dozens and dozens of times, either because I played the game and got the platinum, or my children wanted help through the level. I'm like, oh yeah, cool, let's go.
All right.
I'm
anything else?
super hyped
Anything else
for
you've been playing?
Astrobot.
I think we're all hyped for Astrobot. I think it's gonna give Mario finally a run for his money. Finally, a game. It's like, hey, Nintendo, you're not the only ones. That's my hope.
So,
anyway, but is there something else you've been playing? What else have you been playing?
No,
No, not really.
No. I mean, I tried. No, that's about it. It's funny because one of the games that I play just to pass time sometimes is a mahjong game on PlayStation.
Of course, sure. Why not?
The mahjong.
Jared's like a kind of a Jedi, kind of an Asian guy, just quietly in his back room, just playing some tiles, just kind of.
But it's funny. This game doesn't even have like a special title. It's just mahjong.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Made by.
So you haven't found
SA.
You haven't found that good mahjong game yet, is what you're saying?
Oh no, this is a great mahjong game.
Is it?
I've probably done like 20 tables at this point.
All right.
Yeah. Eventually, I'll finish them all, but they keep adding more still.
Does it have multiplayer?
No.
Oh,
Doesn't mean how can you do multiplayer mahjong?
Can't you play against somebody?
No, dude. You know what mahjong
I
is?
don't I have no idea what it is. I thought you could
It's a
play.
tile matching game. You
Yeah, but I thought
clear
you can. I thought in real life you play when you play mahjong. You play against people.
maybe. I've never seen that edition of mahjong.
No, I thought in real life the game itself you play
I
against
I've
people.
seen it in movies. I have.
I thought you play against people. You don't play against people.
No,
Are you sure?
no. It's literally this version of mahjong is a tile game where each ensemble or table is a shape, like a teapot, you know, something like that. And it's tiles stacked upon tiles. And you have to match tiles. But if you do not think or plan ahead, you may bury a tile you need
Jarrod,
underneath ones you can't
Jarrod, it
access.
says it's played by 4 players, with some
Is it?
three-player variations found in parts of China. Yeah, you're supposed to play against a group of people.
No, not in video game ones, dude.
Well, mahjong, the actual mahjong game, you're supposed to play. It's like a competitive tile game. That's so. Anytime I've ever seen it in movies, you're playing against people. Even
Well,
here it
I have
says
never. Well,
players, 3 or 4.
that's fun. That'd be fun to play. I would absolutely play a multiplayer mahjong game, but all of the PC ones I've played in the past
You don't play
and
against a. You don't
PlayStation
play
ones,
against a computer.
no, because in I've played so many renditions of
Oh,
mahjong. I love mahjong, but I've never seen a multiplayer mode.
what? That
Yeah,
seems
see,
wild to
this
me.
this one says play a Zen game. Rediscover the famous traditional Chinese game.
That's crazy. I've only ever seen it in movies, and it's people. It's
I've
like
seen
four
it in
people.
movies, and I'm like,
It's
how are
four
they doing
people
that?
playing against each other, and it's just like, uh,
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Maybe I should research and see if there is a multiplayer mahjong game
do you have
on
a physical?
consoles
Do
or
you have a
something like
physical
that.
set?
No, I would love to someday.
You should get a physical
Absolutely,
set and then learn, and then
100%.
you and your wife could play, or like learn how to play, or like
Oh,
your
that's a good
daughters,
idea.
like actual
Yeah,
like just
that
buy
is
a
a
decent
great idea. That's
set.
funny. You actually have me loading up Amazon on my phone.
Amazon mahjong,
Yeah, I mean, come
but
on. Where else do you order stuff from?
right.
I
But
mean,
I'm
it's
just saying,
stupid.
like actually learn how to play it like the proper way.
That'd be awesome.
Anyway,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
it's
know if
funny
I'll
you're
do it,
saying
but
this is like single player.
no,
What?
no, like yeah, I've seen what you've
I
seen
have
in
no
movies.
idea what you're talking about. Single
Yeah,
player though.
yeah, it's funny. Like all the video game ones are single player. You can't do multiplayer.
What? That's wild to me. That's wild.
Mahjong set.
It's like a form of dominoes, basically.
Yeah, essentially.
Oh, interesting.
Let's see, Oh, so new American mahjong set.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know what that means.
Uh, yeah, I
Listen,
don't
I
know.
don't know.
$120. Whew.
Holy shit.
$70 for an American. Why American? Do I
What's
need to go to
American?
Amazon.co.jp?
I don't know. No, China. I think it's a
$55.
Chinese. I think it's a
Spin
Chinese
Master
game. I don't think
game.
it's a Japanese game.
Oh yeah. Is it what, CH? I don't know.
I think
I
it's a
don't
Chinese
think you
game.
can have things shipped that way. Huh. Yeah. Anything I see mahjong on Amazon is fucking expensive as shit. So I probably won't do that.
You got to make your own.
Yeah, I know. Carve
Carve
and
some wood.
whittle my
Jared's just like
own wood.
whittling wood. What are you doing,
Yeah,
Jared?
I'm just whittling and painting on some tiles.
All right. My last game I have that I've played is The First Descendant. It's the new free-to-play game available on everything, I believe. I think it's on on Steam. It's on PSN. I think it's probably on Xbox. I don't know. It's by Nexon, the Korean developer. It's a third-person looter shooter. It's basically it's kind of trying to be Destiny, but third person.
And free. Well,
It's
Destiny
free.
is free.
It's free. You're right. Destiny is free.
Base Destiny 2 is free.
It is a free to play game, so it does have some really aggressive microtransactions for characters. I put 6 hours into this game, so I played it quite a bit. It looks cool, but the mission structure is so, you know how the mission structure in Destiny, like not the story campaign but like the base, like, patrol missions where you
Yeah.
click on something and then it tells you. That's kind of how the main missions of this game work. Like you go somewhere, you click on a thing in the area, and then you do these missions, and then anyone can easily join you. They don't have to. They don't really have to join you. They just have to like pop into your area, and then they join your group, and you just kill hordes of enemies. And every mission is basically killing hordes of enemies, and it drops a lot of loot. You get a lot of cool things. Shooting's fine. Uh, it's a grind of a game. It's just a
It's
grind.
a decent base of a game that
Decent
hopefully will thrive.
decent base of a game that is just really grindy and just kind of like uh a lot of the characters you can buy, you can actually, if you don't have to buy them, you can just like play the game and unlock them. Uh I don't know. I don't know if it's super fun though. It's kind of fun. Like the shooty shoots is kind of good.
Like Warframe Light.
Yeah. It's like between Warframe and Destiny. It's like in the middle of that. It has a similar mission structure to Warframe, 100%.
Yeah,
But
that's what I was thinking when you were talking about the missions.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like Warframe has that kind of like go and yeah, it definitely has that kind of thing going on. Um it's all right. It's not bad. You can get a lot out of it for free. If you want the cool costumes, some of them are really high-end money that um you're not going to unlock unless you like just spend you just grind
Crazy blueprints, and then you have
you
to
just
grind
grind
for
the shit out
40
of it.
hours maybe to
Right,
get part of a
right,
costume or something
right.
like that.
100%. It's a lot of that
Yeah,
kind of shit,
jeez.
but it's not bad. I just don't think, if I'm playing Destiny in tandem with it, Destiny is so much better. If you're done with
Well,
Destiny, you don't give a shit about Destiny. Yeah, try it. You know what, Jared? If you want to try it, I'll play it with you. But I just don't think it offers
well,
a
so
lot.
so the free to play game I'm interested in this week, I
Oh
think it was recently released, is Zenless Zone Zero.
no, that's not free to play.
It's not,
No,
because that's done by the Hoyo people that
no.
did Genshin Impact.
You have to pay for that one. I'm pretty sure that's a
I don't know about
Jared.
that.
Look it up, Jared. I don't think that's free to play. I think that's
Zenless
a
Zone Zero. Interesting. That'd be like their first paid one.
yeah. I don't think that's free to play. I think that was a pre-to-order on
Zenless
PSN.
Zone Zero. Oh, it is free. Yeah,
No, it's not.
it is.
No
Free.
way.
It says right here, fucking free. Add to
Is
library. Zoneless, blah, 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 zero.
is it really?
Oh, you can't even see
Oh,
that. It just
all right.
looks like a white bar on your
All
screen.
right. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
so it's like an action battle game. Like, I'm assuming it's similar to Genshin Impact, whereas their other one I just played, Honkai Star Rail, is turn-based.
That's the turn-based one. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is another action battle one, which is on every platform in the universe, including mobile. So I kind of want to try that because I loved Genshin Impact.
All right.
So that
Well,
yeah,
I'll go install Zona's Zenzilla
yeah, ZZZ, big old sleeper hit.
Let me turn on my PlayStation.
All right, fine. I'll add it to my library
Uh,
and download it.
uh,
Downloading, cool. I love how easy that is now. Is that something we've ever talked about where you can
no.
just use the mobile app, find a game, be like, yeah, I want to check it out, and click download, and it'll fucking download on your system if it's on standby mode.
It is free. I thought it cost money.
Maybe like the early release or whatever, you got some cool shit if you bought it and supported them and things like that. I don't know, but it is a free to play game. All those Hoyo games are free to play so far. The Hoyoverse, I think, is what they call that.
Hoyoverse.
Yeah. So far, Genshin Impact was awesome. I probably put 70 or 80 hours into that game.
Anyway,
It was awesome.
the first Descendant is fine if you're just looking for a way to kill time. It's not that bad. It's not that good. It's just fine. It's
A
perfectly
free shooty shoots game.
free shooty shoot game is perfectly fine. if anyone wants to play with me, I'll play with you. But it's like let's just go play Destiny. Really, it's better. Um, I mean, I got to be honest. I mean, the character models in First Descendant is sexy as fuck. I mean, it's hot. It's
Are
it's
they?
it's a South Korean game. It's all like
Oh,
it's sexy. It's like it's like Stellar Blade. It's like really hot and sexy.
did
Like
you never bought that, did you?
not yet. I was gonna wait
Not
for it to
yet.
come down. I'm gonna buy it. I didn't buy it
You're
yet.
waiting for it to go down on you? Got it.
Yeah, exactly, Jared. Exactly. I'm not giving up any money until it goes down on me. But yeah, it's just kind of where I'm at. I just don't really. I don't know. Like I'm so kind of weird with games right now. Like I don't like Stellar Blade sounds hard. I know you can put it on easy, but it sounds like a difficult game. I don't really want. I want to play fucking Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah, it sounds like it's not as hard as like a Soulsborne
Yeah.
game, but it's got challenge.
Right.
And what game it made me think of challenge wise? Dave played it.
It sounds like a
Darksiders
$30,
3.
but it sounds like a $30 difficulty. It doesn't sound like a $70 difficulty.
But you played the demo, right?
Yeah, it's awesome. I had fun.
Yeah, it's great. It felt awesome.
Yeah, it's
And
like
the boss battle at the end was
I'm,
fucking great.
I'll
And I
throw-
didn't die in 2 hits.
She pulls out her panties. I'll throw $30. I'm not throwing 70
God.
though.
You just need one of those money shooting guns. That's all.
Anyway, I'm so baked into Ubisoft. Like I want the Star Wars Outlaws. I want the Assassin's Creed fucking Japanese game.
Yeah,
Like,
Star
I'm like
Wars game
for some
looks really
reason
good.
I'm just into that. I'm in that mode right now. That's the game. I haven't had one of those games in forever, and for some reason that's I've been playing all these other type of hard or shooty or different games. And it's like I just want a fucking mindless open. How crazy is that sounds? I want a mindless open world game.
Yeah, I don't want to think. I just want to play a game and have fun.
So that's kind of
it.
where I'm at right now. So I think
that's where I'm at.
what is
this
Star Wars
summer.
Outlaws September? I think it's September. So I think that's
okay.
I think
That-
that's
That's not free to play.
no.
is it?
No.
Okay,
That's
that was a full purchase.
That's
yeah.
a full Ubisoft game. So
Okay.
but that's
Yeah.
I think that's a few months away still. So I think I'm just kind of doing random shit right now. I don't know. So anyway. We've been bullshitting for too long, Jared. We've been going on for a long time.
Well, dude, we haven't recorded forever.
We haven't.
I mean, we've been playing shit separately a lot. We haven't played a lot of online stuff lately.
Well, we haven't
my
talked to
schedule's
each
been
other.
jacked
We haven't
and-
talked to each other. We haven't seen each other.
Yeah,
I mean,
our schedules have been busy. You've been
traveling
yeah.
with Dave. We've been out to Reno and Lake Tahoe and just like
you're getting sick, all kinds of
fucking
stuff.
prostitutes, all kinds of crazy shit that you guys don't even know about. So it's like
Are you gonna release a video?
there's
Did
no
you really
video.
record
I
much?
didn't record anything.
Okay,
I
you
took
just
some
wanted to
photos.
have fun.
Took some photos, but I just like
Cool.
I don't really give
Yeah,
a shit
good
about
for
this.
you.
I don't want to work.
Yeah,
I don't want to
good
work.
for you. Yeah, that's a good decision. I'm glad you had a lot of fun.
You're gonna have the stories. Like when Dave and I get on, we'll tell the stories. It's good.
Yeah.
Time. But
Yeah, I can't wait to hear the stories.
But yeah. So what did I want to say? Oh, yeah, all that stuff is awesome, cool, awesome. But we should do some couch co-optionals and then get out of here. So is there anything you've been reading,
after couch
listening,
co-optionals,
drinking?
I do have some trivia.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, you have any couch co-optionals? You have anything?
Yeah. I actually recently watched a movie on Netflix. I'm trying to find on my Google thing. I did search. It just came out recently. It's actually called The Imaginary on Netflix.
Okay. I have no idea
So
what
this
is.
studio kind of branched out because they thought Studio Ghibli was done.
Okay.
So it's one of the animators from Studio Ghibli branched off and did his own studio, and this is his first foray into like just branching off into his own style. His first movie, I can't think of the name, but it was more like Studio Ghibli style. But it's really really interesting. It's about like imaginary friends and like what happens when you get separated from their consciousness and their emotional connection, and it's like super interesting. It was really really good movie. I would strongly recommend it.
And what?
The
what's
Imaginary
streaming?
on Netflix.
Imaginary on Netflix. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Check it out.
I'm also gonna. I'm going to recommend a movie. I saw The Fall Guy.
Yeah, I watched that today.
I
It's
saw
so
it.
good.
You probably saw it the same way I did on
Yep,
a
yep,
Plex
I did.
server of a friend of
Maybe that's
ours.
why I was having trouble streaming it earlier.
But what a fucking fun
It's
fucking
so
movie,
good.
dude! It's so good. I almost felt bad that I felt like Bryn probably would have liked to watch it with me because it's kind of a romantic. It's an action flick, but it has this like kind of romantic relationship stuff with. I really enjoyed it. Actually, I thought it's like a watch
My
it.
wife enjoyed it too, and she's not into like action flicks, but she really liked
It's so
the
funny.
relationship
Yeah.
between the main character
I would say
and
I like that
his
more. Exactly.
crush.
I
Yeah,
think I like that more than the actual action. I like the relationship and the comedy and all
yeah.
the like.
Oh,
Ryan
it's a
Gosling
solid
is
movie,
hilarious.
and the references to other movies and all that
So
stuff, the
good.
jokes
So
and
good.
everything hit right.
Such a like everyone was kind of like everyone there was like I remember reading reviews. Everyone was either really up on it or really down on it. But I was like, I don't know how you could be down on this movie. It's
Yeah,
so fucking fun. It's just like a really fun movie. It's
yeah.
like if I were a younger kid, teenage kid with a girl and going on a date, that's like the perfect date fucking movie, dude. It's like perfect. It's like funny, action, hilarious, romantic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just really
Yeah,
enjoyed
Ryan
it.
Gosling just nailed it. He is
Nailed
such a
it. It's so
great
fun.
character in it. Yeah.
Super cool. So I'm gonna recommend that movie as my couch co-optional. If you have not, if you're living under a rock and haven't seen it yet, go see it. It's
Yeah.
or you should
Well,
probably
you can rent or
it
buy it
now.
now for like
Yeah,
20
yeah.
bucks online.
Or you
Yeah,
have a
it's
friend.
such a good movie.
Or you have a friend that has a Plex server, and
Oh, shit.
they probably have it already. So don't worry about it. Anyway, Jarrod, what is our trivia? What is my trivia? What do I get to answer?
So earlier I mentioned Game Genie.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Do you know what happened to Game Genie?
I have no fucking clue what happened to Game Genie.
So a company you may know of, it might be on a bag that you've acquired from Retro Game Expo. Hyperkin acquired it back in
Really?
the day. Yeah.
Really? Can you enter Game Genie codes through Hyperkin's system?
No, it's weird because they acquired it like way back in the PS3 era as a USB stick. They released Hyperkin like Game Genie USB stick.
Well, because didn't Game Shark used to have a USB stick type of thing?
Yeah, Game Shark kind of took over, I think. Like Game Genie, as far as I can tell, just doing research, they don't even exist anymore. Hyperkin just kind of like it's sitting on the name. It's gone nowhere since like the PS3,
Dude, they should
3DS area.
revival it, and just allow you to enter it within their system. That would be awesome.
And do you know who originally developed Game Genie?
Uh, should I know? Okay, first of all, should I know who this is?
Big company.
It's a big company.
You probably have a lot of fond memories of their games.
It's a big company. Even though
It may have
Galoob,
been acquired by EA eventually.
even though Galoob is the product producer of this content,
They
you're
were the
saying
publisher.
the publisher of this content. There's a company that went on, EA.
They may even still exist in EA. Barely.
No, I have no idea.
Codemasters back in 1990.
Codemasters.
Yeah, Codemasters.
Holy shit!
The fan,
Codemasters.
your biggest, some of
Yeah.
the best
Racing games, and then they
fucking ever.
so they weren't under
They
EA
developed
to
the
begin
Game
with,
Genie
but they
software.
yes, that's wild. That's wild.
That's so cool.
That actually makes more sense that they're called Codemasters.
Yeah, yeah.
If you think
I
about
thought
it,
you'd get a kick out of that.
that's wild. That is fucking wild.
I didn't know that. I just started going down like this deep tunnel.
That
I
is
was
some
like,
of that is some of the best trivia I've heard to date. Like Codemasters, Game Genie.
Yeah.
That is gnarly. That's cool. That's super
Yeah.
fun. That's
It's all
super fun.
connected.
Everyone listening, all 50 people, you knew.
Yeah,
you
if
know
they
something
made
new
it this
now.
far.
Yeah.
If you made it this far,
Of course
Was
they
I
did.
wrong?
They all make it this far.
Yeah.
They're driving. They have
course.
nothing better to do. Hey, Tony Death, how you doing?
No, he doesn't listen anymore. He doesn't drive. He sits in a office
He just fucking
talking
plays
to
the
people.
first
He
Descendant
doesn't
like a
listen.
mind-numbing zombie and doesn't play real games anymore.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah.
All right.
He's too busy.
He is too busy. He's got a big titty wife. What? I don't know. It got to get heavy on his back. I don't know. Got to wrap this up. Where's my? I think I just.
It's on your phone.
It is on my phone,
right,
but I feel
right
like
there on your phone. Yeah, open that and then tap on that and
hey.
read that.
Well, I just want to say thank you to Jarrod for joining me here on the couch tonight.
Yeah, anytime.
Well, I mean, Dave's sick. Nick.
Aaron's sick of us.
John alienated himself.
Sick of us.
Yeah. And Nick can't. He has to work tomorrow. So.
Yeah. Oh, lame.
So it's just
Yeah, but
this is a pretty impressive
just imagine
episode,
how much
Jarrod.
longer this
Jarrod
episode would be if we
right?
had a third.
It doesn't really matter. It's only
we're good at filling the void.
I don't think we filled the void. I think it's nothing but content tonight. But I want to thank Jarrod for joining me here on the couch. We are the Couch Co-op. You can find us on all the platforms, iTunes, Spotify, Audible. We are out there in the world for you to find a podcast. If you need to find a video version, the video version is also available on Spotify. You can also go to youtube.com/milkmanpictures, where I post the podcast as a video form. And, you can also come hang out with us live every night. I did see that we had up to 4 people watching us tonight, but no one commented. But you can go to twitch.com/The Couch Co-op Show and kind of check in and watch us live every Sunday night at 9 o'clock. If you are bold enough, you can ask us questions. But no one ever seems to do. People pop in, they watch us for like a few minutes, and then they leave. That's this podcast.
We're such harsh people.
Yeah,
people ask questions. We're tearing them in half. Yeah.
Anyway. Thanks again to Jarrod for joining me here on the couch tonight. For Couch Co-op, I'm Ian. Please
drink Fruit Force instead of Juice Force.
I don't think that's that episode. I think this is be excellent to each other. Oh, Couch Co-op.